The reconstruction of Providence and Santa Catalina is not over. This is what the Constitutional Court determined. For this reason, it issued orders to the national government and the National Management Unit for Risk and Disaster Management. Here is the court's order.
The Constitutional Court announced that the reconstruction of Providence has not been completed and is far from being finished. According to the High Court, the government failed to comply with the agreements on the basic characteristics that the new houses should have, which led to the delivery of incomplete houses unable to protect their inhabitants in the event of a new hurricane, among other problems that are currently being experienced after the reconstruction process. In the ruling, the Constitutional Court issued several orders. Among them, the following are highlighted. 1. To grant 30 days to the UNGRD and the Mayor's Office of Providence and Santa Catalina to intervene in the field hospital in order to guarantee the minimum condition of availability, acceptability, accessibility, and quality in the provision of health services to the racial population. 2. The UNGRD, the Ministry of Housing, and the Mayor's Office of Providence and Santa Catalina will have 45 days to guarantee the inhabitants a daily supply of at least 65 liters of potable water for personal and domestic consumption. 3. The UNGRD, the Ministry of Housing, and the Mayor's Office of Providence and Santa Catalina were ordered to definitely solve the discharge of domestic sewage into the environment. 4. The UNGRD and the Mayor's Office of Providence and Santa Catalina will have 90 days to definitely close the lands that have been used during the emergency for the temporary storage of debris, garbage, and organic waste. 5th, the UNGRD and the Ministry of the Interior, the Ministry of Housing, and the Mayor's Office of Providence and Santa Catalina will have 15 days to convene the Rizal people in order to advance a consultation process on the process of integral reconstruction of the islands of Providence and Santa Catalina. Among the actions taken by the court, the Ministry of Culture is ordered to translate parts of the summary and the operative part of the ruling in a public and participatory event on the island of Providence and Santa Catalina within a period of no more than 30 days. 7. The Ombudsman's Office and the Attorney General's Office shall monitor, support, and accompany full compliance with the provisions of this ruling.
The National Register Office announced the date in which Colombians can register their ID cards or change their voting place for the 2023 territorial elections.
According to the calendar of regional election for next year, the National Register Office is informing that this Saturday the registration of ID cards will be open for citizens who wish to change their voting place.
Este sábado 29.
This Saturday 29th, the registration ID cards will begin from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The people who register are those who have changed their address. If indeed before I lived in Guinea and I moved to San Luis, you can register in the post of San Luis for the elections.
On October 29 of 2023, Colombians will elect mayors, governors, councilmen, deputies to departmental assemblies, and councilmen of local administrative boards for the period of 2024-2027.
Officials from the Ministry of Environment arrived to the island to socialize the national wetlands policy.
The Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development with Coralina socialized the project of the National Wetlands Policy Update with the purpose of protecting these ecosystems that in many parts of the country and in the world are being violated in their spaces, invaded and polluted.
We came to the island so that from the vision of the entities and communities, they can visualize themselves in updating processes, incorporating that the island vision as the islands in the framework of the management of wetlands at a national level are reflected in some policy guidelines. Although the policy guidelines are thick, they are the ones that define the course for the management of these ecosystems. And as in the future, we are talking about more than 10 years, processes can be generated to implement these policy lines throughout the country and especially in the insular zone.
105.8 acres of wetlands are occupied on the island of San Andres, which are home to various species that are part of the Seaflower Biosphere Reserve. Some of these wetlands are located in sectors such as Hill Well, Guinea Hen, Zotas, Lowy Cave, Fate Pond, and Sprat Bite, among others.
And continuing with the work for the evacuation of waste from the islands, Recuperaciones Naranjo Recycling has informed that 15,000 tires recovered from different dumps and specific areas of the island will be evacuated.
In order to prevent the spread of mosquitoes and other health and environmental impacts, Recuperaciones Naranjo informed about the weekly evacuation they will be carrying out through containers of the tires they have been collecting around the island. The company's coordinator announced that they expect to remove more than 15,000 in the next few days.
Today we are filling bags with tires that are going to be shipped to the city of Cartagena. We will be working all weekend to fill 300 bags, each one of them with approximately 50 to 55 tires. This means that approximately 15,000 tires will be removed from the islands during this weekend process. The importance of the removal of used tires is that we avoid the spread of diseases such as dengue that are transmitted by mosquitoes stored in this type of waste.
It is expected that between 10,000 and 15,000 tires will be evacuated weekly and sent to the city of Cartagena. In the meantime, the company's collection team continues with the recovery of waste, including tires, white goods, among others.
A new range of service is being offered by the Chamber of Commerce to businessmen and entrepreneurs of the islands. Business consulting is the entity's new initiative to improve the island's commercial offerings.
In order to respond to the needs of the entrepreneurs who have approached the Chamber of Commerce seeking help and guidance for the growth of their businesses, the new initiative in business consulting in restaurant and bar is made available by the entity.
We have had a month to design the formats, create the strategy, consult with advisors, and we want to give the news to the community. We will launch this new service called Business Consulting. It is not a free service. It will be free to start and will last approximately 2 weeks between work sessions. The idea is that we will work on important issues, strategic planning, cost, processes, and the issue of market segmentation for business. We offer support to micro-enterprises for the structuring of their business, where the topics that we will address are the structuring of these micro-businesses with market research, the definition of the target audience, market segmentation, structuring of costs and expenses, and defining a strategic plan so that they can take into account what they want to develop to strengthen their business idea.
To verify the viability of this new service and the effectiveness in the department, there will be a periodic feedback on what is being developed. After 6 months, the idea is to make an evaluation of how the microenterprise is doing or how it has progressed after the service has been provided.
Pay close attention to the following information. The National Hurricane Center estimates that for the next few days, the tropical wave that transits the Caribbean Sea has a 70% probability of evolution. It is also predicted that it could reach the condition of tropical depression and generate heavy rains in the Colombian Caribbean region. Following are the words of the Director of IDEAM, Yolanda González.
Día de hoy, viernes 28 de octubre.
Today, Friday, October 28, the National Hurricane Center estimates a 20% probability of evolution for the next 2 days and 70% of greater evolution for the next 5 days. It is very likely to reach the category of tropical depression this weekend.
Significant moderate to heavy rainfall is expected in sectors of the central and eastern Caribbean Sea, especially this weekend and early next week, as well as significant rainfall in the coastal cities of the central and northern Colombian Caribbean region. The following is recommended to the community. Be attentive during the communiques and information issued by the IDEAM and other local and municipal emergency authorities, especially in the insular zone of St. Andrews, Providence, and Santa Catalina, and the Colombian Caribbean region. Follow the indication and recommendation of the control entities, emergency and response agencies. Be attentive to the upcoming communiques, as there may be sudden increase in the rivers that descend from the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, especially those that flow directly to the Caribbean in the upper Guajira.
For this week's COVID-19 report, the island presents a new case of coronavirus according to the National Health Institute.
The National Health Institute reported through its webpage the figures of cases reported throughout the present week in the country, where the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina submitted a new case after a long time, increasing the total figures for the archipelago by 10,334 reported cases, for a total of recovered patients of 10,146 cases. The islands continue with a total of 155 dead patients for both municipalities of the archipelago. On the other hand, vaccination against the coronavirus shows a total of 147,653 total doses applied. It is to be highlighted that the virus is still latent and mutagen worldwide. Therefore, the Ministry of Health invites the community to continue with the hygiene measures and the use of face masks in the health and similar centers. Also, people who have not yet completed their vaccination schedule should approach their EPS to complete it.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news today in our brief news section.
In response to the early alert issued by the Ombudsman's Office, the Secretariat of Government has implemented preventive actions to mitigate the development of tourism and sexual exploitation activities that may occur in the department. From the departmental airport, the entity informed tourists and cab drivers about the importance of avoiding and reporting these practices. The Chamber of Commerce of the department was present at the first Great Ibero-American Summit on Sustainability and Innovation in Business that took place in Bogota on October 25th and 26th. At this meeting, businessmen and chambers of commerce from Latin America, the Caribbean, United States, Canada, and Spain participated in networking spaces, exchanged experiences, and were present in an academic agenda that addressed issues such as innovation, sustainability, and digitization. The Secretariat of Infrastructure and Public Works is cleaning drainage channels in different areas of the department with the purpose of avoiding flooding and water puddles during the raining season.
With this information, we reach to the end of this broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.